A Victory Friday episode and a Purple Rain report, all for you. Let's go. Yes, welcome back to another Purple Rain report. Oh, actually, get this light switch to purple. There we go. Welcome
There
back
we
to
go.
the Purple Rain report on this lovely Victory Friday. After that thriller last night against the Cincinnati Bengals at the bank, Purple Rising, new helmets. What a game! Down 2 possessions. We'll get into that, but let's get the housekeeping out the way. Follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Follow this guy right here on X, on Instagram at Suttondef. Follow me on X at SimplyAS10 or on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And of course, our sponsor, Manscaped. Go on there, use code PRP, 20% off your whole entire order and free international shipping. The best deal on the internet. Yes, it is Friday. We played last night. I apologize in advance. I'm running off for 2 hours of sleep. I was at the game yesterday. Woke up early today. It was louder than last year's blackout game. That same Thursday night game, it was louder. Stakes felt a little bit higher, especially Jake Browning was in the game last year. Burrow went out, but we faced a Burrow, a Chase, and we squeaked out of there with a dub. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say, Sutton. I know you got a lot to say, and the guys, people in the chat as well. So if you came through this late impromptu stream, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Yeah. So just how are you feeling? Just knee jerk reaction. Are we feeling good? 7 and
Yeah,
3, or the 6 and 4.
7-3. There's just something about getting to 7 wins in a season. It just feels like a big number. And this is just the fan in me talking right now, so like largely don't mind me, but like 7-3 is where I want to be 10 games in, to be honest with you. I think if we turn the clocks back and we went back to our season preview episode where we predicted the schedule, I want to say we both had 13-4, if I'm not mistaken. So that would allot us one more loss this season, and we got to run the table the rest of the way, which I think is pretty realistic, to be honest with you. I think the bulk of our schedule is over. Like the not the bulk, but like the heat of our schedule is over. Like the hardest teams that we would have had to face, those are largely behind us. We do still have the Steelers twice, and we know that's always a tough out for us. It's literally the toughest division game that we have, probably just the toughest game that we have every year, just period. So we got to get through those. I think we probably end up splitting with the Steelers. The Steelers actually look really good right now. They still lead the division. So we'll see. We'll see. But again, knee jerk reaction. I told you before we went on air. You know, big win from the offense. Offense playing a lot of defense out there. Lamar Jackson playing a lot of defense. He's earning every penny of his contract. I can say that this kid Lamar Jackson is, because just the sheer determination and just refusal to lose, right? Uh it speaks volumes on the field. You can see it. You can see it, man. I mean, like, they go down and score, no problem. You give Lamar Jackson back, he's going to go down. Whether we start from the 10 or we start from the 40-yard line, we're going to score a touchdown. We're going to go down. We're going to get some points, right? And that's just the mentality he has. And I'm so grateful on this Friday afternoon, Friday evening rather, to call Lamar Jackson my quarterback, because you don't get
Mhm.
that out of a whole lot of other guys. Honestly, you don't get that out of anybody else, to be honest with you.
Nope.
Um, he's a generational talent. And, I woke up this morning kind of still excited, kind of still high from the win, the night before. But, and I guess we can get into, I want to toss it to you first, to kind of get your
Yeah.
opinions on how
Yeah.
the game was in the stadium, because you were actually there. But the defense, man, the defense was just ass
Yeah.
again, for lack of better words. But
Yeah.
let's go. I'm gonna go to you first. What did you think about this game overall? How were the vibes in the stadium? I know you said it felt like the stakes were a little bit higher; they were raised, but I know there were a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
those jerseys, the purple rising jerseys, the LED lights in the stadium had the whole stadium purple. Let us know exactly how that game was live.
they lined the rows up with LED. It was insane. Like the rows were all lighting up. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, even up to the pregame, like vibes were high. Actually, I was looking for my this. I bought a bucket hat from the side vendors. Like it has like Jackson MVP. I was gonna wear it. I can't. Somewhere in my room now, but it was just one of those. Everybody was in really good spirits. And then we win the toss, defer, defense comes on the field, and they just start hitting just checkdowns. And then Burrow's just finding the open spots in this defense like every other quarterback has this year. Like it's so easy. It's like this defense doesn't practice. And I hate to say it, man, but like there's got to be a change because as of right now, this is a Super Bowl winning offense, but this defense isn't even a playoff contending defense. You know what I mean? Like you've got to do something. And I see Shemile brings up, do you think Dean Pease is secretly calling plays? Yeah, I actually do because like they just get to the red zone so quick, and then that bend don't break comes in, and we've seen it before. Like that's not efficient at all. This isn't 2012 where you have the Ray Lewis magic, Ed Reed, Suggs, Nada. Like unfortunately, we don't have those guys on the team. Granted, Nami Madubuike 3 sacks yesterday. That is more like it. That is what we signed him for. But this defense, I put a tweet out that said make the Ravens defense great again, and some people didn't like it because what transpired. But just taking that's how I feel. Like make this Ravens defense great again. What happened to this team, the defense, where top half rank, top 10, top 5? No, like we're relying on the offense. Like you put last year's defense, this year's offense, and imagine what you have. But overall, the vibes, the crowd never was out of it. The crowd was always making noise. The loudest decibels I saw was 124, I think. Could have been higher. Ooh. That was just what my eye caught. Yeah, it was the record's 130. I thought they were gonna hit it, but maybe there were some empty seats because it was Thursday, but it was very minimal. I'd say less than like 300-400, open seats because people work and all that. But man, it was a great night. Probably one of the best games I've been to, up there with the Monday Night Football game against the Colts. But yeah. I'll tell you this though, witnessing Burrow and Chase like that connection in person, the fact that Bengals haven't paid Jamar Chase, it makes me happy. It makes me very happy because that game last night, I think single-handedly raised whatever he's making per year by $5 million. Like if he was asking for 30, now it's 35. 35-40 because like 264 yards against one team. Come on now, bro. Come on now. But when I have more to talk about, I want to hand it off to you. But that was just kind of what I felt at the stadium. How are you feeling at home? And as the game was going on, as it was progressing, I wasn't able to listen to the announcers. I wasn't able to know what was going on with Kyle Hamilton that much. When he went down, I saw he was in the boot from Twitter. So take it away.
Yeah,
take it away.
Well, before I do that, I want you to answer Shamil Malik's question here. Do you prefer the Darkness Falls or the Purple Rises theme?
Darkness Falls. Darkness Falls. Like all black is different. I loved that last night, but I grew up watching Ray and Ed and all blacks. But them helmets were a lot nicer in person. I liked it. Like it grew on me the instant moment I saw them. But the Darkness Falls, like there's so much more you can do with it. Everybody wears black. The whole stadium's blacked out. Purple Rising. It's a good primetime game. But man, just something about Darkness Falls.
Yeah, I think it's perfect for under the lights play. I think that the jerseys and the helmets looked really, really good under the lights, and I've been probably the most critical of that alternative uniform since they kind of released it in the off season. I still do think that the helmet itself should not have had that logo on it. It should have had the Baltimore B. I think that would have been way cooler. It would have fit better, and because with the Raven, I can't remember exactly what year that logo was from. It might be from like 98 or something like that.
Yeah.
I cannot quite remember.
It
was 98. Okay, yep. Perfect. But yeah, it just felt like they slapped it on the helmet, right? And like the colors don't really match. It just feels very cheaply done. But nonetheless, I did enjoy watching my team play in those jerseys last night. Getting back to the game itself, you talk about Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, that connection. When I tell you, I was just watching in awe. Jamar Chase just completely light up our secondary for the umpteenth time since he's been a Cincinnati Bengal. It was very disheartening to see because especially on the one play where he literally just runs, I think Roquan gets a little bit lost in the sauce. doesn't get the right angle, and Jamar Chase is just absolutely gone. He's just running by guys, running right by him. And I know watching that game live, you watching that, like it had to be just kind of mortifying just watching that. Just I don't know, man. But after the game, I did like Marlon Humphrey kind of stepping up, taking accountability, saying, "Hey, look, like, nobody wants to, like, we don't want to win this way, right?" It wasn't a victory IG live post game celebration, anything like that. He was like, "No, like, we gave up over 300 yards passing, over 400 to Burrow, almost 300 alone to Jamar Chase, which is absolutely just asinine. You cannot allow that ever." Of course, we did a good job stopping the run, but just the pass defense. And Marlon Humphrey said that like he can't quite put his finger on exactly what it is. He said like they had a great week of practice, right? And he said something's happening in between, um, you know, them practicing and getting to the game, and there's some sort of disconnect there. And I can only go back to coaching. That's all I can do, right? And I just think that Zach Orr and I think Shamil had brought it up a few minutes ago. Is Dean Pease secretly calling plays from up top in the booth? And I think he is. Like you said, we see that bend don't break defense. I think that there would be no other reason to bring Dean Pease in the first place. If you didn't think that Zach Orr could call plays, he can get in plays on time. I think that's a big thing about it. I think that Zach Orr is spending a little bit too much time kind of processing as a first year defensive coordinator, and it's just natural, right? You start a new job anywhere, it's going to take you a while to kind of get really accustomed and kind of get in like what they call like a flow state, right? You're overthinking about every single little thing, hoping that you don't mess up. And I think with just him being so young, so inexperienced, you had to bring in a Dean Pease who can kind of like mitigate some of those issues there. And so, yeah, for lack of better words, I do think that Dean Pease is up there calling some plays, sending them down to Zach Orr. Zach Orr still got the play sheet over his mouth, like he's the one, calling all the shots. But I think that Dean Pease definitely has his fingerprints all over this defense right now. You can just kind of tell. We do have a super chat donation. This one's coming from DWAS. What's going on, DWAS? Dropping the two-piece in the chat. Says, how was Blakeman last night? Your opinion? The
Yeah,
referee?
leave it to DWAS. Leave it to freaking DWAS ask. Not good. Not good. I do want to get back to what you were talking about the defense, but it was bad. I know we're Ravens fans, but it felt like it was worse towards us. I know they said they missed that. Yeah, they could have called a flag on a 2-point conversion. Yes, they could have called a holding on Kyle Van Noy, who was getting freaking put in a choke hold at that point. There's a lot of ticky tacky calls. I didn't think it was a rough the passer on Matabike. I thought he cleaned through. You can't expect a 300-pound man to stop like that, and that's been my problem with the rough the passer. Push him, don't drive. I thought that Andre Iosivas dropped the ball in 4th and 10. I did not think you can give him that call.
That was a tough one though. Why do you think that was incomplete? Walk me through it.
He's catching it, going forward with the motion, and I saw the ball hit the ground. But you know what? They gave it to him. I thought, maybe they didn't want to end the game there. That's all I'll say. But it was close to call that. And then I thought Kazicki was looking for a lot of calls the whole game. Like that's not AFC North ball. You're out there flopping like a basketball player. That wasn't. Yeah. But they missed a good amount. They were calling a lot, but we won. The Stevens interception I see here, that happened in front of me. Did he get his shin in? Because I saw it. I'm like, if he gets his shin in, that's what Garrett Wilson got. He didn't. Okay, so fair to that. There was a lot of loud manure chants going on last night. A couple of them.
Yeah, I heard the boo birds. I heard they started booing. I think it was like maybe what was the second quarter? Or no, it was definitely third quarter. It was third quarter.
Yeah. Fans were booing. I didn't like that. I get you can be frustrated, but that's the reason why we're 7-3 right now is this offense. So that I wasn't rocking with the booing, but I do want to go back to this defense real quick.
Sure.
I just went through the game logs of the past couple of times we've played the Bengals. So this was the past 2 years in 2022 and 2023, and we held Jamar Chase under 100 yards every single game that Mike McDonald was our defensive coordinator. Every single game.
Interesting.
I think the most receiving yards he had was 84. And I think we won by 2 possessions. So maybe some garbage time yards in there. And that's where my issue comes in with still the hiring of Zach Ward. You are a Super Bowl contending team. You hire a first-year defensive coordinator on a contending team.
Yeah.
At least McDonald was at Michigan. He broke the streak of Ohio State beating Michigan, with Michigan, taking them over. And just now, like the defense has taken 10 steps backwards compared to being a triple crown winner last year. It is just so frustrating watching this. There's little positives. Marlon Humphrey is playing at all-pro level, in my opinion. Ardarius Washington, to me, has played very well for an undrafted free agent who's been thrown into the fire because Eddie Jackson, who is a Pro Bowler, is absolute ass. Nami Madubuike looked a lot better last night. Owe was getting his pressures. I want to see you finish them, but he was getting around, showing me something. And obviously Kyle Van Noy, but there's just so many just Roquan. I see Jamar Chase over the man. He just starts attacking Burrow like Jamar Chase isn't behind you. It's like he forgot how to play football, it feels like sometimes. It's just this defense right now is you put an average offense in this defense, 3 wins at best. That's all I can get.
Yeah.
At best.
That's pretty much where we're at right now. It just seems like these guys are totally out of sync at times, confused. They're not playing with the same confidence that we're used to seeing them play with. They're not flying around the field like we're used to seeing them do. And I can only attest that to coaching, man. I mean, like you said, and let's not sit here and act like before the season we weren't excited about Zach Orr, about the idea of having Zach Orr be defensive coordinator. Now, I don't think that we were saying like, oh, it's going to be just a port over from Mike Macdonald. We're still going to have the top defense in the league. We weren't saying that. We did expect some sort of regression, but not like this. Not like this, man. I mean, when you have the best, absolute best run defense in the league, right? And last night we shut them down again. We shut down another run attack. Chase Brown, I think, had 21 carries, less than 50 yards, something like that, a fumble. So we shut that down. But just to have the dead last passing defense, that is a clear coaching issue because we have the personnel. We have the personnel. I mean, Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens. I mean, he's been catching a lot of criticism this year. But Brandon Stevens, Kyle Hamilton, who I've heard he's okay. The test came back as about as positive as they could. So that's really, really good news to hear that he's not, going to miss any significant amount of time, it sounds like. But we've got the guys, Nate Wiggins, we've got the guys on the back end. We just can't put it together, it seems like. And it seems like we're trying to do it in real time, like in the season. And week to week, it's just not working. Like nothing's working. And it's going to come to a head in the playoffs if we don't get it together. When we have, I don't know, Josh Allen or CJ Stroud throwing for 400 yards against us, and Lamar Jackson's going to have to be Superman literally every single week. That's just not conducive to winning football. It's not, right? And okay, but I do want to talk about, the defense is doing what it's doing, right? We know the defense is doing what it's doing. The offense is still playing lights out. They can wake up and at any moment can just completely take over a football game. But I want to talk about, Alex, a few key moments in that game that kind of really, I don't want to say shifted the momentum, but like there's just very key moments. One of them really did shift the momentum. That fumble, right? In the third quarter, not Kyle Hamilton, but Marlon Humphrey, he forces out the fumble. Roquan jumps on top of it. I had tweeted on my Twitter at Suttondef, you can follow me, probably like 20 minutes prior to that. When I saw how the game was going, I tweeted, I said, oh yeah, we're going to need a big turnover to swing this game our way. And that's exactly what happened. Lo and behold, 15 minutes later, Marlon Humphrey punches it out. Roquan gets it. We go down, score a touchdown. The rest is kind of history. Right? And we just started marching up and down the field after that. So that was one very key moment for me. But another very key moment, like a huge, impactful moment. Oh my goodness, I can't remember exactly what quarter it was in. It might have been late third quarter, early fourth quarter, but I know you remember this when it happened. The Bengals had the football. They were driving on us. And I think it was a 3rd and short. Burrow goes deep. Incomplete. Now it's 4th and short. They run another pass play and they go deep again. Back-to-back plays, 2 low percentage throws on back-to-back plays when all you had to do was get the first down. I'm just sitting here watching my TV screen and I'm like scratching my head like, whose decision was it to throw two go balls, right?
Yep.
When you're down, I mean, I can't remember exactly what the score was at that time, but they were still very much in the game, you know. But you throw two back-to-back go balls on 3rd and 2 and 4th and 2, or it might have been 3rd and 3, 4th and 3, whatever. That just did not make any sense to me, given how much success they were having in the intermediate passing game. Just anywhere else on the field, like anywhere else on the field, Tanner Hudson was getting his. Jamar Chase, of course, was getting his last night. Chase Brown had like what 9 catches. It's just I don't understand. And if I'm a Bengals fan, I am heated watching that. Absolutely pissed because like all you had to do was keep Lamar Jackson off the field. 2 back-to-back incompletions, and oh yeah, you turn it over on downs and hand it right back to him when he's hot. This offense is cooking. Oh, that was just the worst. I don't know if that was a Zach Taylor decision. I don't know if Joe Burrow just thought he had something downfield on both of those plays. But if I'm Zach Taylor, I'm telling Joe Burrow after that 3rd down, hey, here's his 4th down. Let's get conservative. Get the 1st down, right? I know we had a big play, 1 play drive, Jamar Chase touchdown. I get it, cool, but no, get this 1st down. I think that was a very very ill-advised decision. Zach Taylor, I think that you got to coach your guy out of that. You have to coach your guy out of that. You can't allow that to happen. And Alex, of course, you were at the game, so like you said, you didn't get to hear the commentators, but they knew they were going for it already on that 4th down. After the 3rd down play, right? Kirk Herbstreit says, yeah, normally when a team goes deep, in this situation, third and short, they're probably going to go for it on 4th and short, right? And that's what they did. And they just literally threw another deep ball to the other side of the field. Didn't work. Momentum stayed with us. Tanja Bowman says here, momentum is a real thing. We took it and the Bengals could not get it back. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. But those were 2 very, very key moments in that game that like really kind of woke me up and made me feel like, okay, that's going to be one of the deciding factors in who wins this one, right? I almost thought the Tucker miss extra point would be another one too. Ended up not being. I was like, damn, if we lose this game by 1 point, I was going to be pissed. But we ended up winning by 1 point, so it was great. But those were a couple key moments for me. What were some key moments that when you were watching this game, because you were there, again, you were watching live in the flesh, what were some key moments in that game that like really you took home with you? Like, wow, that was really crazy. What happened to you?
I got to piggyback off of the going deep because you bring up the Tucker miss extra point. That was a drive before. So it's 21-20. We're down.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of momentum there. I thought at that moment we just lost it. You could argue and say we did. So the next play they come out, the first play of the next drive, 17-yard pass to Jamar Chase. They're driving. 2nd and 5, short middle to Chase Brown, 3 yards. 3rd and 2 at the Ravens 34-yard line. Deep throw, right side of the field, Jamar Chase, incomplete. 4th and 2, deep throw, left side of the field, Jermaine Burton. At our 34-yard line, you guys have, Money McPherson. You go up 24-20. Obviously we're Ravens fans. I don't know why I'm talking about what they should have done. Take the 3. I feel like McPherson's gonna make that. You're up, and it's a whole different game, but that was one of them for me. And I think another big one was honestly that 3rd and 9, the touchdown of Mark Andrews. 3rd and 9 at the Bengals 18. We just needed 9 yards. Lamar says no. And who he picked on all night? He picked on Geno Stone. He picked on Geno Stone all night. That Mandrews touchdown and that Bateman touchdown. I believe those were his assignments. I mean, he was just flat-footed, got caught, Andrews wide open. 3rd down, 3rd and goal, Rashad Bateman, Cooks Cam Taylor Britt, Geno Stone keeps his eyes on Lamar when he should be watching Bateman behind him. Touchdown. It was honestly scoring on 3rd down in the red zone. Because you're not expecting that. We think we just get the 1st down. No, we're going for it. We're going for the touchdown. That is the difference to me between a Todd Monken and a Greg Roman. Todd Monken has some rocks. Todd Monken, he had an awful first half, an awful, I say, 3rd quarter. But he turned it up when it mattered. Lamar turned it up. And I think since we saw Lamar Jackson crying in that Chiefs game, I don't know how he could have gotten possibly better, but he's gotten 10 times better. 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Oh my goodness. and we're only about halfway through, you know, just over halfway through the season. He's still got a lot of football to play, and this is going to be not just like a career year for him. This is probably going to be, if he keeps up this pace, a historic quarterback season, like
Mhm.
just like an all-time quarterback season. It's amazing to watch. The guy, I'm watching him make throws all over the field that I have never seen him make before. I'm watching on-time throws, scripted throws that were, I'm so used to like Lamar Jackson just, okay, waiting for the play to break down, and let me just be Lamar Jackson and make something happen. Like, no, he's throwing his guys open. He's, oh my God, man, I am so impressed with Lamar Jackson,
I have
dude.
one more.
I'm so impressed.
I
Yeah,
have one
go ahead.
more, and it's. I want to give
Talk
you the
about it.
exact time. The exact
Hmm.
time. It's second
I
and
already
10.
know where you're going.
2:16 left in the
Hmm.
fourth. I'm up there. I'm up in the 5:39, and I was right in front of the end zone where the touchdown occurred in the fourth quarter. Lamar Jackson throws that ball. Rashad Bateman is not looking at him at all. That was the. It was an amazing one-timing route.
Oh, yes, yes. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Yeah, that, I mean, the throw, like for him to throw with that much anticipation. Like
Yep.
I'm watching at home, like on my TV screen, like I could never do that. And no, I'm not an NFL quarterback. I'm not a quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but like just the degree of difficulty and the absolute stones that you have to have in order to have the confidence to make that throw and have it be on point, man. I mean, when you couple that, right, plays like that, where he can throw his guys open, throw with anticipation, throw on time, on schedule, like we've been wanting him to do his entire career. When you couple that with a quarterback who, when he gets out of the pocket, even if he scrambles 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, right, he still is liable to run for a touchdown on your ass. Like, and I know you know which play I'm talking about. I mean, he gets out of the pocket. I think that the defensive tackle was running him down, pretty much had him dead to rights, but Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, gets around the corner on him, kind of tight ropes the sideline a little bit, and almost scores a touchdown. I mean, if the guy from the weak side and from the backside did not tackle him from behind, that'd have been a touchdown. Lamar Jackson was like literally
Mhm.
1 yard away from the end zone. There was one Bengal player, defender, standing in his way, and I have no doubt in my mind that Lamar Jackson would have put his shoulder down and got in that end zone. Um, had he not gotten tackled from behind. But man, I mean, this guy MV3. I think that, I don't want to say it's all but
Yeah.
wrapped up, but he's kind of running away with it right now, especially playing these games on prime time. Like the whole world saw that. The whole world saw that again. In case you missed the 1 p.m. CBS Bengals game where Lamar Jackson had he threw him away like a rag doll, caught by like. In case you missed that, right? Lamar Jackson said, "Okay, don't worry about it. It's Thursday night football, prime time, Amazon Prime. Come through, I'll do it again. I'll amaze you again." 7 years in, this guy still never fails to amaze me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Alex, I don't understand. Like, I've never seen a quarterback play like this. And like, this is our quarterback. It just so happens to be our quarterback. Can't say enough about the guy. But listen, we didn't want to keep you guys long here tonight. We're only going to go for about 30 minutes. We do, of course, we're going to have another full review episode on Monday.
Yes.
We'll
Yeah.
review all the other games as well. Probably we might have a special guest on, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We'd really appreciate that. Another thing I do want to talk about though, before we get out of here, I want to give our flowers to Tylan Wallace. Tylan
I was waiting
Wallace,
for it. I'm like, we can't go
yeah,
30 minutes without talking about Tylan Wallace.
we
We
can't,
can't.
exactly,
Yeah.
we can't. This guy, I mean, you talk about a playmaker, and he has like a legacy play every year. It feels like at this point,
Yep.
you know. Last year, I was at the game, the Rams game, where he has the walk off touchdown in overtime. That was incredible. You were at the game last night where he tight ropes the sideline. I'm calling him now. His new nickname is Tightrope Tylan to me, because this guy was just up and down the sideline. They showed. I thought he stepped out originally, but they showed the
So did I.
replay on the broadcast, and like, yeah, his heel was not on the white. His heel was not on the white. So that was just amazing athleticism from him, amazing balance from him, and his speed. He's got sneaky speed. And he had another catch after that too. I think he finished the night with like 3 catches for 116 and a touchdown. Best game of his career, right? So, but what did you see when that Tylan Wallace? How was the stadium? What did you think?
I thought he was out, but he keeps going, and it just got louder and louder. And then once like our Tucker comes out, and then like the Ravens are like obviously cheering, like the whole stadium just erupted. Like I couldn't believe it. I thought he stepped out. I thought they're gonna call it because some of the I think the chain gang started to run out on the field, like behind him, and he's still running. The play's still going. I think if you go on the all 22 and you put a play up, you'll be able to see some of the chain gang run on the field. From my view, I saw, but unbelievable. And I want to give some flowers to Nelson Aguilar as well. Sneaky touchdown to lead us off. I mean, that was beautiful. And then K-Dog said it. We talk about 1 p.m. CBS managers, but 8:15 Amazon Prime managers. 6 catches, 64 yards. It's not Rob Gronkowski in his prime, but it is moving the chain. It is big catches. It is a touchdown. It is being Lamar's safety valve, safety target. Like that to me was the Mark Andrews that we know and love. And he, to me, has beaten the washed allegations. Those allegations are gone. I mean, they've got to be. They've got. I mean, can't. And he held it down. With Likely being out. So, Likely you had 2 touchdowns on him last time we played. Cool. Andrews he'll do what he has to do. So that was fun to see, man. But altogether, just a great offensive performance. Defense a little shaky, but the official says, "Man, can his defense stop with the BS? I've had it." Yeah. It's frustrating because I was telling you before the show, it felt like every time they go on the field, they were going to score. And I'm not going to lie, Jamar Chase kind of got under my skin, hitting some of the Baltimore dances. But it was for naught. They lost.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. 264, 3 touchdowns, 55 fantasy points if you're into that. Unbelievable. So if you had him, you won your league or you won your game this week. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just what he's here saying.
Oh. Well, hold on. I want to give a shout out to DD Official for the super chat donation. Thank you so much, brother, for donating, making it rain here on this Purple Rain Report episode of PRP. Like you said, we do have another super chat donation. This one's coming from Asmodeus. Says, "I was at the game too. What section are you in?" Asmodeus, real quick. I was watching Bobby Baltimore's stream last night. His pregame stream. He was outside the stadium. He had some fans on. He does that whole thing. Man of the people. I like Bobby Baltimore. But I saw Asmodeus was actually on his show. It was crazy, and I was like,
"Really?
I've never." Yeah, he was there. He was there, and I didn't realize that it was him until they started talking, and then Bobby revealed that like this is Asmodeus, and I was like, "Oh, this is my guy. This is my guy." Been watching the show for years, man. We appreciate you. I know you're a huge Ravens fan, so big shout out to you. You're always coming in, showing support, donating. We appreciate that, brother. Says, "I was at the game too. What section were you in?"
I was in 539. I was right behind the end zone. It was nice. It was freaking nice. All 22 of you, honestly.
Nice. That's like the best. Asmodeus also dropping the 5-piece in the chat, making it rain. Okay, making it rain here on this episode of the Purple Rain Report. Says, also, in case you were wondering, I started the manure chants. Those darn refs. I mean, yeah, we were getting they were running out of laundry on the Ravens last night, man. They were just throwing those flags everywhere. It was crazy to see. I'm surprised we snuck out of there with a win, to be honest with you. They kind of walked the Bengals downfield on that very last drive. I think like 4 15-yard penalties alone. 4 15-yard penalties? That is insane. That's 60 yards of just free yards, giving it away. Like we basically walked them down to the red zone. They scored the touchdown. By the way, that last touchdown throw to Jamar Chase, incredible, beautiful. I can't sit here. I was watching the game and I was like, that is a hell of a throw. That is a hell of a throw. I'm not gonna sit here and act like whatever. No, that was a damn good throw over top of Nate Wiggins, and I can't remember who the other defender was right there, but just drops it in the Ardarius. Okay. Which is funny because earlier in the broadcast, they were talking about Ardarius Washington, and they bring up the fact that Ardarius Washington is 5'8", a short king,
Yeah.
And it definitely showed up there because he just him or Nate Wiggins weren't able to get up and kind of deflect that ball, which would have been really cool to me.
Yeah. I mean, just great atmosphere, great game. I don't want to say great win. Offensively, yes. Defensively, no. And like you said, a lot of respect to Marlon for him not even, I thought he played one of the best on the defense, and he's not happy. Him and Nomni Matabike can keep your heads up. A lot of the other guys back to back at the drawing board. Nate Wiggins, great game as well. I thought he got flagged, but it was very ticky tacky. But man, can't say enough about Lamar Jackson. I do want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Yes, Mahomes obviously right now is the best. I'm not going to sit here and argue that. Rings don't lie. I'm a firm believer. But as of right now, performance-wise, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the league. All right. If anybody sits here and try to chat shit about him, they don't watch Ravens games. He's not just a run. He's not a run first quarterback anymore. If you actually watch the games,
absolutely not. No,
because he could have ran for a touchdown against the Broncos. Could have ran for what I thought last night. Didn't. Chooses to throw. He had the lanes. Just it's not even worth wasting your breath because they don't watch these games.
Yeah.
I'm seeing honestly the only quarterback I've seen better right now for the Ravens was that 2012 playoff run, Joe Flacco. Like those two right now, like the level of play, it's that high. So if he keeps that up, takes them to the playoffs and takes us to the promised land, first ballot, and we're having some uncomfortable conversation with those people in Kansas City. Believe that, uncomfortable. So let's hope he can do it. But yeah, 7-3. Big Commanders fans this weekend, by the way. Big Commanders fans.
Yes, huge Commanders fans. Absolutely. What time do they play? They play 1 p.m.?
4:25.
Okay. So I can kind of single in on that game. Good. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, so like you said, Ravens are 7-3. We have gotten the brunt of our schedule, I would say, is over. Again, we still have the Steelers twice. We've got the Chargers coming up again. Of course, we still have the Texans. Browns one more time. Texans, on Christmas Day. So there are still some challenges left. Eagles are coming to town. There's still some challenges left, and the Eagles have actually been playing really well lately. They got 4 straight wins. So we still got some big games down the stretch. But I like where we're at right now, like just kind of pound for pound. I still think that the defense will get it together. I still think that they'll get it together. I have faith that they will. We just need more of a pass rush. I didn't totally understand waiving Yannick Ngakoue and seeing if we can pick him back up and, sign him to practice squad, whatever. Now the Patriots got him. The Patriots picked him up, so he's gone. I don't know where we're going to get a lot of this pass rush from. I'm not going to sit here and rely on Atavius Robinson, such a young guy, or an Odafe Owe, who's clearly proven that getting to the quarterback and sacking the quarterback is just not his thing. It's just not his thing. Okay. Like I'm over trying to, hype him up and have faith. Like we've seen Owe, we know what he's good at. He's good at setting the edge. He's good at getting pressure, right? Did have a penalty last night for jumping a little bit early. But I'm done. I'm just done. Right. We need a pass rusher. We need a pass rusher because in the playoffs, if you can't get a Josh Allen on the ground, if you can't get a CJ Stroud on the ground, a Patrick Mahomes on the ground, they will dice you up. And I just don't think it's fair to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson posted on Instagram today that meme, I think, of, the lady who works at Popeyes. And like she's like sitting outside and she's just like stressed, like, because work is just stressing her out. Lamar Jackson's the same way. Like he's literally shouldering the load. He's playing offense, and he's playing offense so well that it's actually serving as our defense at the same time. So yeah, that's really where we're at right now. But 7-3, I'll take it. But we still need some major adjustments on defense. Yeah. Something's got to give. And any final thoughts, though, Alex?
Commanders Steelers is 1:00. The Jets and the Cardinals is 4:25 because it's in Arizona. But I wish they could just. I get why it's in Arizona with the West Coast, but I see this now. I don't mean to rant. Like the 4:25 games, Eagles, Cowboys, Dak's out. Like that's not going to be a game in my opinion. I think the Eagles are going to win that one. Jets, Cardinals, and Titans, Chargers. Like those are your 3-4 games. Which one is which one do you want to watch? Maybe Eagles Cowboys because the rivalry. But outside of that, like it's really nothing that. No.
Yeah, like I don't. Even before the season, I wouldn't have had a whole lot of interest in those games.
Like you could
I
have a
just,
fourth
yeah.
one and throw Commanders Steelers, and that's like the main one people want to watch. And yeah, oh, the Chargers are winning, cool, like, but that's my rant for the day. So got a game in Germany, Giants Panthers. I'm sorry for the German fans that are gonna be at the Allianz Arena. Um, Bryce Young and Daniel Jones. Yeah, sorry
Oh,
about that.
gross. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Absolutely disgusting. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave this one here. This is just a Purple Rain Report episode, so we will be back on Monday. Again, we might have a special guest, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And we're gonna talk more at length about this game, hopefully with our guest. And we're gonna talk about what the Ravens need to do defensively, right, going forward, in order to kind of alleviate some of these terrible, just absolutely just putrid pass defense efforts. Like it's just it's crazy what we've been watching, man. What we've been putting on tape, and it sucks being a Ravens fan. Like I tweeted the meme yesterday of like the person looking outside of the bus. One side is like the bright and sunny side, and the other side is like the dark wall.
Yeah.
Watching the Ravens play defense is like watching that dark wall. It's just like, oh my goodness, they're getting whatever they want. We can't stop a nosebleed. But when on offense, Lamar Jackson is just cutting through any defense like a hot knife and butter. Like it's crazy to watch the polarity between the two. But yeah, we don't want to keep you guys too long. We were supposed to have a hard cut off at 30 minutes. We ended up going about 10, 11 minutes over. We just love talking to y'all, and there's a lot to get off our chests, and we will be getting off more on Monday. But for now, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel as well. If you are new here, if you are new to the Purple Rain podcast, hello, my name is Suttondef. That is SimplyAS10. We go live every Monday and every Thursday. We didn't go live yesterday because Alex was at the game. He brought the noise, he brought the energy. He's still undefeated attending Ravens games. He's
13
like
and 0.
13 and 0.
13
Yeah,
and 0.
insane. So you got to keep going.
I put the Undertaker gift because I truly believed that was after Jamard embarrassed our defense 21-7. Our offense looked awful, and I was like, you know what? This is it. This is the L. But I stand corrected, fought back, wasn't looking good. And Asmodeus with the final, with the dagger, with the Lamar dagger. The defense needs to play more man, move Stevens to free safety, move Marcus to the box. We can bring this type of stuff up on Monday. These type of ideas of how you can fix the defense, what we can do. And we know he has that experienced free safety, Brandon Stevens, so we'll definitely talk about that. Thank you, Asmodeus, for all the love and support. And thank you to all for coming through to this impromptu Victory Friday edition. I mean, what? It doesn't get much better than Victory Friday. We can
come on now. Right before the weekend
and just
we can chill. Watch. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. I'm excited. One thing I will say, I'll leave us with this. As Modi says, there's a stat supporting his claims. He's absolutely right. I think last night, against zone coverage, Joe Burrow, his passer rating was like 130 or something like that. Against man coverage, his passer rating was in the 60s. So, I mean, that speaks for itself right there. Asmodeus, I know that's probably the stat you're talking about. But yeah, something's got to give. But hold that thought, Asmodeus, and make sure you come through on Monday at about 6:30 p.m. We're gonna be chopping it up a whole lot more on what the Ravens should do on defense in order to get out of this hole. Get out of this hole they've dug themselves in. And it's to the point now where like even guys like who are just normally cheerful, like Marlon Humphrey, can't even be cheerful. Can't even go live on Instagram. So it's just we got to be better. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Suttondef. You can follow this guy over here on Twitter at SimplyAS10 and on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. And like we led the episode with, Manscaped is our sponsor. You can go on Manscaped.com. The holidays are right around the corner. As a matter of fact, Christmas is next month. So make sure you go ahead, load up your Manscaped cart high to the sky for your favorite loved one and or yourself, right? And then go ahead and use our code PRP at checkout. You're going to get 20% off plus the free international shipping, which is always the kicker. The best deal smoking right now. Again, thank y'all from the bottom of our heart for this, impromptu kind of on the fly stream. You guys coming through supporting on a Friday night. You could be doing anything else. You could be doing absolutely anything else, but you are here locked in with us. So we appreciate that. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Hard to follow up. Thank you for coming through to this Purple Ring Report episode. We love you. We appreciate you. As always, stay positive. That's negative.
Yes. And never, ever, ever forget, even on the rainiest of days, to call God. So yet another Purple Rain report. We're gonna see you guys on Monday. Peace.